Hey, my sci-fi mofos out there, Scarpad, how you doing tonight? Jump in here to see us review the movie Pandorum from 2009. We'll check in with the panel in a second, but let's go over some facts. We'll give you the Billy Bob type rundown on this movie, at least a little bit of it. Pandorum came out in 2009, and it starred Ben Foster, Dennis Quaid, Blink if you and you'll miss him, Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, Chung Lee, who I guess was a mixed martial artist, I guess, and Aunt J. True as Natilda. And really, Norman Reedus, he gets top billing in this movie, and he's really in it for about 3.5 minutes. It was directed by Christian Alvar, who's a German director. It was a proposed trilogy, which because it only grossed 20 million of its 33 million budget, well, that never happened. And it was originally going to be shot on video, just on video. And then they switched over to film before they started shooting the movie. So let's bring in the panel, and we're going to introduce you to them right now. And it's Steph. Steph, how you doing, Steph?
What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Not too
Glad
much.
to be here.
Steph is the only one, I think, on the panel tonight who has actually seen this movie before.
For the first time.
Oh, this is for the first time? You have
No,
not
I
seen
mean,
it?
no, the first time I've been the first to see a movie before you guys.
Yeah, it's my intention. I'm trying to do a movie, at least one movie a month that I have not seen, because I think it just makes it more fun. If I'm always doing movies I've seen, well, that's fun too. But of course, you got Perry.
I love watching movies I haven't seen.
Perry, every movie is a movie Perry has not seen.
Oh yeah.
Godfather, nah.
Now I have.
Wars, nah. Jurassic Park,
knock it off the list.
Never heard.
I'm a movie connoisseur now.
So it's great having Perry on a movie on a panel, because you know you're going to get his honest first opinions.
Oh yeah.
And of course, this man has seen every movie, owns every movie, and but he didn't see this one, I guess. It's Dylan from Dylan's Horror Show. How's it going? How's it going?
Dude, no, I think I had not seen it all, but I definitely saw like the first 30 minutes, because as soon as I saw Norman Reedus, I was like, I've seen.
You've seen Norman Reedus. They blinked. They didn't see Norman Reedus.
I know, right? But I'm a huge Ben Foster fan, so me and Steph were talking. Dude, I'm glad he mentioned Ben Foster, because that as soon as I was like, dude, I swear I've seen chunks of maybe on a kill count or something, man. I've seen
Yeah, no, this movie definitely is great. It definitely stretches into the horror.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Sci-Fi.
But there's a lot of movies that do, and I think this is still qualifies as a sci-fi flick. I guess I'll go first since I've never seen the movie.
Kind of like Event Horizon.
A little bit, yeah. My general opinion of the movie is I enjoyed it. Now, it's interesting because the premise of the movie, it really gets you throughout the whole movie, kind of trying to figure out, what's going on here. And I think the way they sprinkle the stuff through the movie, it keeps you interested, and it actually is pretty clever when you see all the reveals. Ben Foster is really the star of this movie. This Quaid, I think, must have been brought in because he was a name. He doesn't have quite as much to do as Ben Foster. And Ben Foster is really good in this movie. The special effects I really like. The movie, of course, the creatures, they did remind me a lot. I think the movie, of course, was heavily influenced by.
Oh, yes. I couldn't put my finger on it.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this was Ghost of Mars. Or the second thing was something like 28 Days. They're not zombies, but they kind of are zombies. And it's interesting the way they develop them, where they're just a byproduct of the hypostate going wrong. And the story itself, it's pretty interesting, even though it's one that we've probably kind of seen before. But then you get that twist at the end where they're not really in space, which is really nice. So overall, we'll get into some more of the elements, but overall, I enjoyed it. I think this one that takes 2 viewings, because the only thing that I missed, I had to go back. I sent you guys all a video, Pandorum explained. Now I got the whole thing. The only thing I missed is that of the creatures being a byproduct of what they were giving to people to put them to sleep. I had thought maybe they were on the planet or whatever, right? But other than that, I pretty much got the plot of this. I love how they, they going there that the interface to destroyed. I love the whole idea with the swing shifts and so forth. But
Yeah.
let's go to Dylan, I guess, because Dylan hasn't seen this first time watching it. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, bro, it's one I definitely need to watch again because I ain't pick up everything, to be honest. And
There's a
like
lot
I
going
said,
on.
the Plex was kind of giving me trouble at first. So then I was going from my tablet to the TV, then to my tablet, then the TV. So I watched it like 1.5 times. It felt like
I had to rewind a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The whole time though, it kept me intrigued because I'm like, I feel like the crew members, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in a way, I like that because it's the mystery. You're like, I gotta know what the hell is going on because they get into it quick.
Yeah.
It's no dilly dallying.
Yep.
They get in quick. You see the monsters, and you're like, "This is what the fuck is going on?"
And it's almost like a Memento vibe, where you don't know what's
No
going
one
on.
knows. No one remembers anything.
But then they start remembering as it goes on.
Yeah.
And
I did like that.
Yeah, and you see that guy hanging there right before you see the first creature. You see the guy hanging. How is like bait, a trap, and it's kind of neat how they swing around in wires. But go ahead, Dylan.
You're good, bro. The like I said, I'm sure there's a couple things I missed, but it's definitely one I'm adding to the pickup on physical list because I saw on that I was watching some of that like
Pandorum,
Pandorum
don't buy this one. Don't buy this one because this one is. Dylan, you're breaking up a little bit. This one is a double one disc with
two on one disc.
Yeah, and it sucks. But
yeah,
it's,
I hate that.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely is.
It'd be nice if Scream Factory did a 4K for it.
Yeah,
that would look clean.
Because they put like a good trio for it: Pandorum, Event Horizon, and Sunshine, which I've never seen. I guess that's another horror spaceship movie.
That's another one.
You've seen Sunshine? I've never seen it. I've
never
heard of it. I don't think I've ever heard
Danny
of it.
Boyle, baby.
But I am a huge Event Horizon fan. I'll definitely.
It's very similar to that too.
Yep. Is it I guess it's like all three of them then kind of have that vibe then. But I love Dennis Quaid. Like you said, man, I was super hyped to see Norman Reedus, and then you blink and the motherfucker's gone. But
somebody looked at this movie and saw the zombie type things and said, "Hey, that guy would be good in a show." Let's get him.
And then he was so covered in like dirt and shit. Like,
I pay. So this is your first time watching it, of course.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. First time watching. I watched it last time with my girlfriend, man, and I gotta say, the beginning of the movie it gave me like straight anxiety, like the suspense, like I was freaking out, dude. When Buddy's like, "Oh, I hit a corner," and then he just dropped. I thought he snapped his neck, dude. I like jumped out of my chair, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah, that whole scene where he's going through the conduit.
I was panicking myself.
Which is stupid because all these characters always do that. You can't back up. What are you supposed to do? The guy got stuck. He died there.
Yeah,
that
was so cool.
Yeah.
He took the dead body and he threw it to the little mutated guy, dude. I thought that was so smart, dude, because I was freaking out. I'm like, dude, you're dead. You're dead. There's no way you're getting out of that right now. And he got out of it, dude. I gotta say, I really enjoyed this movie. I like the whole concept, the whole Noah's Ark, leaving Earth, destruction of Earth, a new planet. Like the fact that this movie lost $10 million is a shame, dude. Because that would have been cool to like see something like on the planet, like how they could repopulate or something, or create something new. That would have been
like
cool.
Some aliens type shit.
So and they did give you a glimpse of what was going on Earth too, and everything, it's all fucked up, and and people are living it, and then they, well, we'll go into that in a second. So, what did your girlfriend think of it?
She liked it. She was like in and out. Like the sci-fi stuff is like it's hit or miss for her.
Well, I know you're no fan. You're not a big fan of horror, are you?
I feel like I used to hate horror, and as the years have gone by, I think as I started doing the reaction videos, like forcing myself to sit down and then like listening to everyone talk about it, I'm like growing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, like dude, I never thought I would like Chucky, and the Child's Play TV show is my favorite TV show. You know, like Halloween friend. I'm looking at Dylan's background, dude. That shit looks so fucking cool. Like all the posters lined up. That shit's so fire, dude. And I would have never appreciated that like 5 years ago. So yeah, horror movies are like.
Dylan, you got to work on getting Perry on either the Burial Ground or the Terrifier 2.
You trying to scare him away from that?
Yeah, that's Terrifier 2 would be.
And I suggest he watch it with his girlfriend.
Oh God!
You trying to get his girlfriend to leave him? She's like, boy, I don't know what type shit you on.
But I'm on the screen. She packed her bags.
You've heard of Terrifier though, haven't you, Perry?
Yeah, the clown. I heard it's like a super gory movie. Like I've seen Hostile, so like I could do gore. I like Hostile.
Oh,
it's more.
It's a level up.
It's a level up.
Oh boy.
All right, Steph, go ahead. Go ahead. You watched it before. What do you think?
Yeah, I loved it the first viewing. Like I've always been big on like I was kind of like Perry. I started to appreciate horror more because of Dylan and the reviewing movies and the his passion. Yeah. But this back then when I saw it, I was just going for the sci-fi aspect. Pedro. Ben Foster I've always thought was dope as shit. Where did I notice him in? I know he was in I started to take notice of him in Alpha Dog, but I know he was in I can't remember him. He was the shit in that. Drop kicking people through it, bro.
He did that movie with Chris Pratt where they're bank robbers, Hell or High Water.
Oh, with Jeff Bridges. Bro. Yes. Respect.
I'm looking for that Sunshine too, bro. I see Chris Evans is in that, bro. And Cillian Murphy. I got it.
Tom Strong, baby.
But I might have it up in the thing, and now I can grab it for you. It's a good movie. But go ahead, Steph. Keep going.
No, I like this movie because I think it. A lot of movies will try to balance like that whole sci-fi horror thing sometimes, and not pull it off well. But this balances the horror and the sci-fi just well. Like it doesn't feel out of place. It feels like all in one world. I like like you said, the idea of the creatures adapting. I thought that was super cool. Let me go over a few. I wrote a few things down, bullet points, but liked and disliked. Liked Ben Foster. The whole idea was cool, like the creatures adapting, or they weren't like some demonic. Like you didn't really know on the first watch, like where the creatures are coming from. So the reveal that they were like people adapting.
900 years of evolution to get to that point. Like that's mind blowing, dude.
Yeah. They built like a cool world with that. Like I would have liked, and that's crazy. You said that they had it. I planned out for like a trilogy, and because it felt like that. Like there's more world to explore there. Like a lot more mythology.
Because it ends just saying like the planet year 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what type of like trials and tribulations they got to go through on the planet. Like what type of creatures are there? Had some of the creatures. That was an underrated CW show.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you. I wrote Ben Foster again. He pretty much carries the movie for me, which is not a bad thing because Ben Foster is amazing. But I kept imagining like, what if Ben Foster had switched roles with the young Dennis Quaid, who bothered me. I felt like he almost gave away. Like you could tell something was up, bro. Like if Ben Foster would have played that role, he would have kept it up in the air until the very end. Like you wouldn't have known there was some sinister. You could tell You
knew the young version had something sinister going on.
Well,
he gave it away too quick.
I thought it was a pretty good reveal, though, that that he was the German.
That was a cool reveal, but you just knew something was up with the young Dennis Quaid character. Right. I felt like if it was Ben Foster, he would have played it so smooth. Like you wouldn't have known that he was up to something or anything until the last second.
Because they're almost making him like the you don't know he's the young version. But
exactly,
he feels like the red herring, where they're like trying to make it seem like he's the one that's got Pandorum,
right?
And he's trying to be like, Quaid, you got it, I think you have it.
I was confused. I couldn't tell who.
That was a little bit of a confusing part.
I think they're trying to maybe confuse.
I kind of figured that out because they kept on going back to that Eden story about the guy who jettisoned all his crew and killed them all, and I kind of had a feeling that was gonna be Dennis Quaid, but when they did the reveal that he sees the number on the arm and it's the same as him, I thought they did that okay. I thought they could have done that a little bit better. Yeah, Dennis Quaid, as I said, Ben Foster was the big star of this movie. Dennis Quaid felt because he was stuck in that room through the whole movie.
Yeah, he didn't interact with anybody but Dennis Quaid.
That was like impressive, dude. Like he filmed all these scenes just by himself.
He's had a presence.
It was
yeah,
like that's kind of cool. Like having it in one room.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fantastic actor.
I think like the certain flashback scenes they could have like explored more, like when they were going through like when the cook or whatever, and he was explaining to them what was happening with the ship. We had like they were flashing back to like Dennis Quaid's younger self telling him what was going on, and I felt kind of redundant. Like I felt if they would have just nixed the Dennis Quaid thing and just showed like a flashback of young Dennis Quaid experimenting on, like they showed brief glimpses, but I wanted to see what was he doing that was so sadistic, and like why was he able to go to sleep and leave everybody else alone and no one came looking for his pod or some shit like that. But beyond that, I thought the movie was super dope. Like I think it's very impressive the way they balance the horror and the sci-fi. Like you could classify it as a horror movie and you could classify it as a sci-fi. It's stronger in the sci-fi aspects, but blends all of that super dope.
And they also had the other reveal where, most of the movie, he's looking for his wife or girlfriend, and she's not there. He remembers she's like,
oh no, she left me.
His whole motivation was like, fuck it.
It's gone, dude. He's like, fuck it, just die right now, dude.
And that was kind of an interesting reveal. I think if they had showed that guy who's the youngest Dennis Quaid character just in the flashback on the bridge, that would have been an explanation. I thought also was cool that when they come out of that hypersleep, the skin had grown so much.
Yeah.
First thing but it's just their skin, and he was like ripping it off, peeling it off.
I thought it was like a wet T-shirt at first.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
And then that whole scene where he falls into the pit of like all the bones and all that they've eaten. But even that
the production was good though.
Yeah, like when he fell off the bridge and all those mutants were like sleeping with each other. That was the coolest like special effects for me. Like seeing like that must have been crazy to make everybody dress up like that and like sit on top of each other like sleeping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's a callback to 28 Days in the church.
Facts. Yo, I didn't peep that, man.
And then all the zombies are sleeping there, and they wake them up. And the same thing, I think, I Am Legend, or one of those I Am Legend movies. The vampires are all the one with the dog and
Will Smith.
Will Smith there, where they're all sleeping. They wake up.
And you're always the one that triggers everyone else.
Right.
Like even in the church, it was the priest system.
I think the one scene that got me though is imagine if you were the fucking guy sleeping for 900 fucking years, and the first time you're waking up. And you're waking up and you got all these fucking things trying to eat.
You're disoriented and shit.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on?
I was freaking out with him, bro.
Yeah. Yes.
Hold on, leave him.
Yeah, you're not going back for him, dude.
That was a good scene. That was great. The guy, imagine waking up and seeing that shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This movie was great at the tension and claustrophobia that in an environment like that.
I really felt it, man. And a lot of times I don't like get like that.
Right.
But I really felt it, man. I really and Ben Foster's is really good.
And the set effects, let's talk about the special effects. I thought they were really good. I mean, it's all taking place for the most part on the ship, but the way they did the ship, the age, how the ship has been aged, you saw that. It was kind of like, how did they get this way? We didn't really find out later on that, you knew some time had passed, but not that much time.
Like 1,000 years.
Well, it's almost developed into a whole
ecosystem. They're like, it felt very lived in. That was they did a great job with the.
Because you always wonder, how creatures like those creatures could survive when they, and it did show that when he killed one of the creatures,
they were cannibals.
They were cannibals.
Oh
they were eating their own.
Yeah.
It looked like
they started eating the guy. So how do they mate to have that little one? That must be interesting.
It looks like Stan Winston's.
I think they made a parody of that.
It was Stan Winston. Stan Winston's Creature Shop did the effects. For
no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see Stan Winston's name, but all his his Creature Shop is.
Well, I think Stan Winston died. His Creature Shop's still going. And Stan Winston died around that time, so maybe
his brother kept it going for a while.
Yeah, so maybe he wasn't there. I'm not sure if he was dead by this point.
Yeah, the 9, I think he was.
Yeah,
69.
Yeah, but I definitely got, as you said, Ghost of Mars. These things reminded me a lot of Ghost of Mars.
Oh, dude, the monsters, straight up.
They were descendants from that, bro.
Right.
The blades.
I think they came on. They're descendants of fucking Mars. So they're supposed to be humans, evolved from
No, you're talking about in Pandorum. No, what happened is
No, I'm saying those monsters.
Yeah, the monsters were
those
caused.
Were the humans that
They were caused by the
Pandorum.
No, it was caused by the stuff they injected into them to make them go into hypersleep.
Oh,
but they also said that there was something in the shit in that was helped them adapt to the planet, and but the people outside had adapted to like the ship, which was
and then evolution took over once they originally converted there. I'm not sure why some of them converted. In other words, I think it's once you came out of the sleep. So it's interesting.
I gotta watch it again.
Yeah,
they didn't really explain
when Ben Foster have turned. I think you had to listen. It's something to do with not only the stuff they injected, but something that girl was working on to get.
But what about that cook? Because he hadn't seemed like he had been alone for like maybe 20 years.
If you look, he had some shit on him, so maybe he started to evolve.
Okay.
Yeah, because his fingers were like kind of weird. Like his nails were like almost gone.
He was the weirdest of them all too.
Fuck yeah. He was a creepy dude, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he was there. He was eating them, eating the people, eating the cannibals, eating the people. They come out.
You know what that reminded me of?
He was
I was gonna say Morpheus from Predators. When Lawrence Fishburne, when he led them all to the ship and was telling them about the planet and just like trapped them in the ship and shit and like lured a predator over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess Stan Winston was gone by 2008, so
was
they
he
were
really?
making this in 2008 when he died.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think it went because this was backed by Stars, the channel Stars. It was in the theater, but then it immediately went on the Stars right after that.
Really?
So
you know what? It's crazy because I could.
And Sunshine, bro. Both of them are actually kind of hard to find in print.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Don't tell me that. I'm gonna have to. Oh, bro, I'm gonna have to get to Sunshine.
Because I checked, it's not on. Sunshine's not on Plex right now, and you can rent it. You can rent it or buy it on Amazon, but it's like $15.
Yeah, Pandorum, Sunshine, Horizon. There's that genre of spaceship horror, aliens.
Yeah.
The aliens.
I love this genre, bro.
It's a spaceship science fiction horror.
Yeah. And they're like trapped on the spaceship. It's also like that.
They can only. They're already in the darkness of space, and they only got so many places to go and shit. Yeah,
exactly.
That gets me excited.
They told the story. The one guy who had Pandorum, where he ejected everybody.
Yeah,
everybody was on into oblivion. Everybody.
Oh, yo, you saw the dude screaming as he's just floating.
Oh my god, that was so scary, bro.
I couldn't even imagine that, dude.
Oh my god. Because at first I was almost confused. I was like, did the people that went into oblivion, did they land on the planet? But no, that was like the leftover people on the ship, I think. Or that was the people that went into oblivion. Because remember that everyone in the ocean, you see all those ships pop up.
The pods.
All the canisters or whatever, the pods. So was that the people that went into oblivion? Because
that could have been a good sequel bit, bro.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. What if some people landed on the planet years before this ship or some shit?
It said that the population was like 1,000 or 1,200.
1,200.
How many of those pods were in the ocean? How many people? Like, because there's like, from what we saw, there's like 5 people on the ship. How many people were still sleeping though? Because Ben says that his wife might have been on the ship, and Dennis Quaid even says my wife might be on the ship, but we don't have time to go looking for him. Obviously, I'm thinking Dennis Quaid thinks that they're probably dead at that point.
Well, the interesting thing is this movie started off, if you watch that little featurette, this movie started off as a movie about a prison ship, and Pandorum was the name of the prison ship.
Yeah,
and
he said we are the cargo.
And then another Paul Anderson, who did a lot of these type movies. I don't know if you ever seen the movie. Another movie that's pretty good, underrated, is a movie called Soldier with Kurt Russell.
Hell yes!
That's a special. That's a science fiction movie. We'll have to do it on the show sometime. That's really hard to get now. And Paul Anderson is also, I think, the same Paul Anderson that did the Resident Evil movies. And
yep.
And he had a script, and they took these 2 scripts and merged it, and then Pandorum became the psychosis, and they dropped the whole prison ship idea and went with the arc idea. It talks about how they did all this. I think a lot of times this happens more than we know, where all these scripts are out there in the ether and they all just kind of come together and they take.
Like, I got this cool script and this cool one there that are just sitting here. Let's merge them, man. Dope.
They did that with
together.
Right. And I think they did a pretty good job. And this, as you said, there's a few things that I think need a little bit more explaining. But I think some of it's because you really have to pay attention to the dialogue of this movie. Yeah. It's a movie that you need to watch twice. And I think a lot of that will get cleared up.
Rogue said, Wiki says 60,000 people on the ship, 1,211 the remaining pods eject to the surface.
Right.
Because obviously throughout the 1,000 years, some got ejected out into oblivion.
Right.
Some turned into the creatures.
The creatures.
So that was what was ever left.
Right,
that was obviously the remaining pods.
Right, because they did say that basically they were on the planet for like a long time underwater.
Yeah.
They had gotten there like when the first 100 years, 125 years. So
damn.
But that's interesting because when they opened up the thing, all you saw was the darkness. So that we're in space, and then you saw this big fucking underwater.
When I first saw that scene, though, I was like, I thought they were in like hell or some shit. Before, when I first saw the movie and there was like no stars, I was like, "Dope, bro!" They went through a portal, a black hole, and wound up in a hell dimension or some shit like that. Like,
and the ending they did with the ending where they did the how many people left in day one. That's just because they started the movie with the same way where they went the different areas on Earth and how big the population had gotten. So. But I thought it was cool too when you got the ejection and then you also got the things the lids popping off.
Yeah.
Flying off.
That
was kind of
that's a nice effect.
Kind of reminded me a little bit of the scene in Planet of the Apes where the thing comes down there on the planet and the thing falls in and it pops off and they come out.
My only question though was did they have like were they like boats? Were they supposed to swim to shore or like
I think they paddled.
Doggy paddle.
Basically, paddle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, the scene you didn't see is all those things sank and they all drowned and then they all died.
But they cut it before the
that's a fucking down of an ending.
You're right.
No, but let's talk about the music. I think the music was done really well. I enjoyed the music. Cinematography was it was very dark. It was a very dark movie, so it helped to be on a big screen, in a dark room to watch this because I think otherwise you'd miss a lot of stuff if you're in a bright room. It's a very dark movie, but you can still make out quite a bit. As I said, and the creature designs, they were familiar, but they were different enough that I thought they did a pretty good job on it.
I didn't hate them. I didn't.
Right.
I think they did strain for a time. You get kind of sick of pretty much zombies in all the movies, because Resident Evil, not zombies, but they are zombies. These weren't zombies, but they are zombies. But still, I think they did a good job of mixing it up enough where you didn't really get bored of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, they had these two fighters. There's one guy and this chick. They were fighting, they were kicking ass left and right.
That guy was that guy Chun Li, the dude.
He's badass.
He's a mixed martial artist in real life. Yeah. So
I thought he was cool because he didn't have any. I mean, he spoke. Was it Mandarin or something earlier on?
But he didn't speak no English, and then he's like, actor." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of
here!" Reactor. But even you figure how long was a girl out? She had to survive all this time.
Yeah.
But I love that scene with Ben Foster. He was they're all hanging it upside down, and the cook was going to eat them.
Yeah.
But the way that scene where he talked him out of doing it because the ship was going to blow up, and he's going, "You're a survivor. Don't worry about what you've done. No one's going to hold it against you.
Blame you." Yeah.
Of course, as soon as they got down, I thought they were going to fucking shoot his ass, but they didn't do that, which surprised me.
You know who he reminded me of? The cook, the dude with no legs in Alien Resurrection that was hanging off Ron Perlman's back and shit.
Yeah.
Or
I may have missed it, but what happened to the cook there? I think I phased out for a second. Did he get killed?
He got
he got killed by the guy from Frequency. He hit him with the needle in the eye.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. Needle in the eye, yeah.
He thought he escaped.
The guy from Frequency. Disc Quaid.
Yeah, I keep forgetting his name. I know him from Frequency.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we've discussed all that. So who's the favorite character in the movie? I guess for me, my favorite character would obviously be Ben Foster. I think he
stole the show.
He stole the show. He was a kick-ass character.
Yeah.
Next would probably be that mixed martial artist guy. He was kind of a cool dude. He was doing all the ass kicking. So he was fighting pretty good.
Always kept his cool.
He got that forearm strength holding up that bridge.
Yeah. He was holding the whole bridge so he wouldn't fall into it.
And then he starts sprinting through the corridors and shit right after that. He was endurance, baby.
And he had that stick there. He had like that Morgan stick from Walking Dead, stuff like that. So
yeah.
He was kind of good. As far as the gore goes, it was restrained. There was some gore there. It wasn't over the top, I guess. It maybe could have been a little bit bloodier. I don't know.
It was rated R too, wasn't it?
It was an R-rated movie.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I think that's another reason. I think around that time period, if you went PG-13 in a science fiction film, R-rated movies, people didn't go see them.
People weren't gonna, yeah.
And then now that's completely changed around where, you want to go see R-rated movies. They want more of them. I guess Dylan, favorite character.
It would definitely be Ben Foster without a doubt. I mean, he is. I love seeing him lead the show. I think he should be leading a lot more movies. He is.
What happened to Ben Foster? What's the last movie he was in?
He's doing like a lot of not big
TV. Like I said, that Hell or High Water. I know.
Like he's doing more interesting roles, but just they're not getting that attention that Hollywood likes to give.
Yeah, I remember him from the Western there, the one that Christian
310 to Yuma. James Mangold.
He was very good in that. Yeah, he was very good in that.
See, it looks like he's been doing like this movie Emancipation with Will Smith.
Oh, he's in that? No, bro. Why did you have to tell me that? I was not going to watch that because I'm not fucking with Will Smith as of lately, but I'll watch it for Ben Foster.
Does Will Smith slap him?
With Christian Bale.
Yeah, that was a good one. That
was good.
Yep.
Inferno with Tom Hanks, Warcraft. That Hell or High Water was really good.
He was in Warcraft?
That's with Chris Pine, isn't it?
With Chris Pine, yes.
Jeff Bridges.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Lone Survivor. He was.
That was yes.
In Lone Survivor.
I don't think I ever saw Lone Survivor. It's a Wahlberg movie, isn't it?
It was good though.
Based off a real life story.
Yeah.
That movie is so good, and Ben Foster is probably. Mark Wahlberg is incredible as well, but I'd say Ben
Foster went out like a G, bro.
Man.
He was
incredible in that. Yeah, dude. Ben Foster is just so goddamn good, bro. Like, like I said, man, I fell in love with the dude from Alpha Dog, man, and he's just so good, bro. And then when you see him in other things, you watch him in that because he's kind of like a white. Like all he has like the KKK swastikas on him, tatted, like fresh out of prison type guy, like smoking crystal meth. I want to say in it, dude. God damn. And then you see him,
he's hardcore.
Do dude, he's just very.
He's very diverse, bro.
He's diverse. Yes, he can do so much. He's so good, bro. I love to see him lead this. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm in. That's all I needed to see was Ben Foster leading the show.
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah, this was a movie for a long time that I wanted to see. I just never got around to seeing it,
I almost feel like he might have. Yeah, that was a good. And it's funny you said that this was supposed to go like for video, straight to TV or something like that.
No, with the movies. It was in the movies, but
went straight to Stars.
But were they?
Stars backed the movie.
Was it supposed to be like a show before they turned it into a movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
It probably once it flopped at the box office, though, it went straight to Stars Network.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because that's probably where I saw it playing on Stars.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember in the theaters back in the day. But as I said, it's just I think both these movies that paired up with this Crazies and Pandorum, I think did come out pretty close to each other.
Crazies was like 2010, early 2010.
Yeah, so. But okay, so Steph, favorite character you just said.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Ben Foster, but I will give an honorable recommendation to the chick. She was badass. I felt like she was sometimes a certain female characters, I don't want to. She fit the situation. She didn't seem like she was overpowered. She seemed like she could hold her own. You know,
and she got her ass kicked. She got her ass kicked a little bit too. She wasn't.
And I believe,
yeah, it was believable.
Exactly. That's why she wasn't like invincible. But
the cook stabbed her, dude, upside down.
Oh, bro. And when she pulled the knife out and her face, I was like, oh yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But I'll give it to. We all know Ben Foster is the best, but I'm gonna give it to the chick for honorable recommendation.
Cool, Perry.
I'm gonna go with the ship. I thought the ship was so freaking cool. We got to see how massive it was coming out the water when they were showing when she was describing it in the lab, and then the camera zoomed out and you see all these like samples. It was so big, dude. It was so big. Like, what a cool concept for a ship. Like just how massive it was. And it's like it almost gave me vibes of what's that movie where they're on the train? And they got to eat the roaches. They get the train.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, so like Snowpiercer, that they're working their way towards the train, and like they're working their way towards the reactor. It's like the same kind of vibe, and I don't know, I really liked it. Yeah, the ship was awesome, dude.
It had a cool design too.
Yeah.
Like
it really did.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that the whole concept, because this thing was so far away, that they had to do shifts where they would, come out of hypersleep for and serve for 2 years, then go back in for 2 years, then the next crew would come out, and they would just rotate ad infinitum until they got to where they were going.
Yeah. Right.
So it wasn't like a multi-generational ship where they just they would
died off and the kids took off.
The kids would do it. They would just keep on going into hypersleep.
That was an interesting take. I didn't peep that, but most of the time, movies when they do something like that, it's like you're on the ship. You know you're gonna die on the ship. Your generations, your protege is gonna pick up.
Well, it's gotta suck. I mean, you go in that thing for 2 years, and now you gotta go back in it for 2 years. Although I guess the whole concept is you go to sleep and you immediately wake up because you don't know time is passing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Even if it's 900 years, you go, no problem.
What the shit? 900 years? It was just 2017.
So, but that was interesting. So Perry thinks that's a good one, Perry, the ship.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
The ship can be a character. So.
Hell yeah.
People name the ships, like after women and stuff, like
there's like a Milano and
Well, when I heard the name of that ship, Elysium, I thought of that movie with what's his face, Matt Damon. Matt Damon, yeah, Elysium. But I think overall the movie did a good job of building a world and building a story. I think that's what I like about it the best. There's a lot of movies try to do that, but they fail. This movie did a pretty good job at it, while keeping you entertained and kind of leading you along. It's nice when you get to the end of the movie before you find out all the reveals,
everything
without knowing it halfway off. Yeah, well, this is gonna happen. So that part I really like. So I enjoyed that. So all right. So I guess we're gonna do the rating. Everybody thought of it out of 5 phasers. I'm gonna give this four phasers. I think it was pretty solid. Little confusion in some of the stuff. You really have to pay a lot of attention. It's definitely a movie that you're going to watch twice. It won't be boring if you do have to watch it twice. Or you can do what I did, which is keep on rewinding and go, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, super high.
Let's go back and do it. But I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. I think it's a decent mix of sci-fi and horror. I think a lot of movies don't do it, don't pull it off. This one did. So how about you, Steph?
Absolutely. I'm gonna go along with you. 4 phasers. My only gripes is, so very small. Like I feel, the personal things for me, like the certain flashback scenes and young Dennis Quaid. Just if they would have replaced him, that would have added so much more. But beyond that, like you said, the whole balance of horror and sci-fi, and it seemed all palpable in the same world. Not many projects can pull that off. Earlier I was trying to think of that, and I could only think of like Jason X until Dylan had said Event Horizon, and those are both movies who did that as well. But Jason X has more comedy, which is fine, but only Event Horizon and shit like this
definitely didn't have any comedy in it at all.
No
comedy relief whatsoever.
Yeah,
maybe the cook a little bit. I don't know, but
I like the tension. Everything was felt very thick and you know,
the only thing I could offer,
claustrophobic.
and before we go to Perry for his rating is, and maybe you guys want to comment on this, I think they could have probably phased out the younger Denis
Yes.
Quaid character altogether.
Yeah.
That was kind of a I won't say it's a trick, but that was kind of just like something they didn't need to introduce. They could have introduced they could have found that out in a different way and got rid of him, I think. And maybe that would have been a little bit better if they didn't do that. I don't know. I didn't mind it, but it wasn't really needed. I don't think it just adds another level of confusion that doesn't need to be there. You're already pretty confused throughout with some of the movies. So.
Agreed.
Hey Perry, what do you think? How many phases are you going to give this?
Well, I do want to say I did like him. I liked him. I liked how they because I was confused, and it's like if you're waking up after 900 years, shit's gonna be real confusing, you know, especially with these weird monsters walking around. I'm gonna say the fact that I was stressing out, dude, when they were crawling in the beginning. I finished the movie and I started thinking about possibilities of what could happen on this planet and stuff. I'm gonna straight up give this a 5. I want to rewatch it out of joy, and I want my oldest son to watch it with me. Yeah, I really like this movie. I thought it was really cool. I like the concept, the whole Noah's Ark thing, ship going to a new planet, seeing Earth like destroyed. Like, it was really good. I think they did a really good job. I'm sad that there's no more after this because they could have easily have done something. So 5 phases.
Well said.
All right, Dylan, you're last.
I'm curious.
Hell yeah. Man, I think it's a real good story. I like that it keeps you intrigued because, like we said, we were like, what the fuck is going on? Like, but not in a bad way, where it's just like you're really like feeling like the crew. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Feels so claustrophobic at times. All the actors do a great job. The music is really good. Cinematography is pretty good. It can be a little dark at times. But it's like on a dark ass ship. There's no lighting in that.
With no lights.
What are you gonna do? You know,
doesn't get darker than that.
That's realistic, if anything. So, you know,
I like how they had those little light up sticks and
glow sticks.
He bit it with his thing to turn on.
I definitely think it needs to be watched like twice at least. Like, but it not in a bad way where it's like I want to dive into this sucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right now, I'd keep it at a 4, but it has room to improve, which I see.
Absolutely.
That, it's a little iffy on like some of the reviews, but I think it's damn good, man. And I think that I could bump it up to a 4.69 maybe one day, or even a 5, dude.
Absolutely.
You know, I love this type of film.
Yeah.
Isolation and everything, and just stranded in the middle of nowhere. And then I like how Perry mentioned, the Noah's Ark and everything. This movie has a lot going for it, and I can't believe it. This first time I saw it, I can't. Honestly, man, I've been looking at my phone trying to find a copy because I want to pick it up. Special features, you know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm trying to find that sucker for a good price
now.
No,
no special features on this whatsoever. So
I
the
believe
movie doesn't even look that
single
good.
one.
So.
I believe there's a couple. I don't know how much, but also
there's a whole class like this Pandorum movie, and we mentioned earlier like Soldier and stuff like that just kind of evaporated. Like movies from the 90s and the 2000s are just kind of evaporated in the ether. They're gone, and they're not even on video. You'll see them on like pay-per-view, and you probably catch on streaming. But we'll probably do some of them on the show because like Soldier and there's good movies out there.
Dude, that Sunshine, I'm like really hot to watch now too.
So you're gonna love that.
Isn't that crazy though? How is it that media could get lost? Like I was trying to find cartoons from when I was a kid, and they just don't exist.
Shit like Bobby's World, Eat the Cat.
Yeah, I was watching a show where a kid went back in time with a robot, and they were going to like historical events, and I was like, oh man, I want to watch that to see if it's any good, and I just can't find it at all. And I'm like, wow. Then I jumped down a rabbit hole, and there's like this whole YouTube channel about lost media, and it's like the only thing that people saved are people that recorded it on VHS players.
Yep.
I'm like, that's crazy. Where did the stuff go?
Dude, some shit never got upgraded past VHS.
Past DVD. I mean, I know those
there's
movies.
Some stuff, man, I know that never got past the VHS.
DVD.
There
Yeah.
is not.
They didn't.
There is a lot of stuff that never got DVD release. I'm not saying a shit ton, but there is stuff that fell through the cracks. And then there's stuff that only got a DVD release, and then it went out of print, and it never got a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot more DVDs, I'd say, that didn't get the Blu-ray release, but there is a lot of stuff that was VHS that never got the upgrade.
Never.
Yeah, all right, so we're going to say that this movie, Pandorum, gets a 4.5.
Very solid.
And it's very solid. I definitely one of the better movies in the 2000s, I think, for sci-fi.
Yeah.
And
it's aged well. For 2009.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like a movie that's 11, 12, 13 years old. It feels like it's
like Spike.
Practical effects are good. Man. When he like his skin and stuff, like when he gets out of that cryo chamber, that shit looks great.
That looks really good.
I mean, Stan Winston's company did it. They don't mess around.
Right. Facts.
Terminator. That's all. That's like Terminator, Predator. I want to say.
Wow.
Dude. I mean, Stan Winston.
No wonder it felt so lived in, bro.
Stan Winston was big in the 80s and 90s.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Did so many blockbusters.
Didn't Stan Winston do the creature that was in Creepshow? Wasn't that one of his? The creature in the box, the monster in the box.
No, that's Tom Savini.
Oh, is that Tom Savini that did that one?
That was Savini. Fluffy.
Nice name.
The comedian. Like the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we get 4 from Two Gun Pedro. If you guys want to pop it in the chat what you thought of this movie, so definitely a good one. I mean, definitely one that I've never seen, and that's good because I like as I said, I want to try to do at least one movie a month that I haven't seen, just because it's fun that way. You're always reviewing stuff that you've seen. And that's fun too, but it's fun to discover new movies, I think.
Heck yeah, dude. I love it. You got it, man.
I mean, we all can't be Perry where every movie we watch is discovering a new movie.
Right.
You got to step into the romantic comedy genre.
That's not what we're doing here.
Wedding Planner.
All
that good shit.
No, not at all. But not at all. But I do hear Fable was going to start doing a chick flick podcast.
There you go.
We're going to blame him for that.
I think it was going to be Fable and Jelani doing that. I'm not really sure.
I would watch that. I'm not going to lie. I would watch that.
Fable, Jelani, and Brooks doing a rom-com.
Bro. That's money.
That's all you need. All right. So, hey, what are we doing next week? Well, next week we're going to step back into the 70s, and we're going to do a classic, and that's Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, shoot. I should have got that 4K for $10.
I know.
$10 on HBO Max.
I know, man. I know. It's all over the place, this one. Clockwork Orange. This is a nice steel book, 4K.
That is a gorgeous steel book.
Malcolm McDowell and the boys, and that's a very interesting movie. So hopefully some of you folks will be back here
that's sci-fi
on the panel. That is sci-fi. What would you consider to be? Yes, absolutely sci-fi. Not a horror movie.
I don't know what I would consider.
It's a sci-fi
that
fantasy.
Whole brainwashing.
Definitely is. Yeah, it's definitely in the sci-fi category. And
alternate future type shit.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, I watched that movie. That made my stomach turn.
Which one?
Yeah, that movie's very unnerving.
There was a lot of. I did a reaction and I deleted it when I was done. I'm like, I don't even want to edit that. Like, I was done.
Clockwork Orange,
I wasn't ready for that, dude. I don't know. There's something about like rape scenes that just like I feel like out of my skin when I see that because it's like it's such a horrific thing to do to somebody.
Yeah,
like, it's a movie and stuff, whatever. Like, but it's just seeing things like
how
that.
They depict.
It was strong, you know.
Yeah, stuff. I mean, especially in the 70s and 80s, they didn't pull your punch through that type of stuff. There's a scene in High Plains Drifter, which is Clint Eastwood's movie, where you wouldn't expect to see a full on, really horrific rape scene that he does to another woman in the movie.
Damn.
And he's basically, he's an anti-hero.
Okay.
A lot of people can't get past that scene in High Plains Drifter because it's turned a lot of people off. It's tough. It's rough. But Clockwork Orange, it's definitely a world builder there. It's a different type of film, and it's a Stanley Kubrick film. It's a classic. So we'll be doing that next week, and then we got after that we have Children of Men. Clive Owen,
Yes.
and we're gonna finish
I
off.
cannot wait. Just got my Blu-ray.
And then we're gonna go back to Kubrick at the end of the right before New Year's and do 2001: A Space Odyssey. So some good stuff.
Nice.
I wanted to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And don't you got Close Encounters coming eventually at some point?
Yeah, coming eventually, possibly. I'm trying to hit some of the films.
I thought you kept mentioning that one to me, but maybe you're just saying to pick it up.
Yeah, I got a bunch of ideas.
One.
I like to try. I got some ideas of stuff that I think you guys haven't seen and stuff that's just real interesting and stuff that would be
I'm hyped,
interesting
bro.
to watch.
Oh yeah.
2001: A Space Odyssey. That's like gonna be almost like brand new to me because I saw it when I was super young with my.
So yes,
So,
not I'd appreciate it way more.
I didn't appreciate it, and that's why I haven't gone back to it because I didn't really.
Grab the 4K. The 4K is amazing.
Is it?
Okay. Absolutely amazing. So
that's what I'm gonna have to get before I watch it then,
You
especially
got
for
it's
it's gonna feel like a first time watch. I already know a lot of scenes in it,
right?
But I'll have to.
And that's one that you either want to watch with the headphones on or turn up the music loud because man, the music in that movie is phenomenal.
I wish that would have went on sale during Black Friday, man.
Yeah.
I would have snagged
Oh wow! Out of everything that's going to sell, I'm shocked that's.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's weird the ones that they pick to go on sale. You know, some of them are like the brand new ones that like just came out. Like
Yeah.
Well, it seems like they put the same movies on sale over and over and over
4K.
again. Yeah. Seems like they put the same movies on sale all the time, and some of them never go on sale. So.
Yep.
But you can always rent stuff for $2.99.
True.
So there you go. All right. Well, thank everybody that came in the chat tonight. And before we get out of here, let's go over what we got coming up. Now, what's coming up at 9 o'clock? In less than, I said it'd be out before 9, and it's 4:40. So
8:40.
8:40, man. We got plenty of time. Go over to Robbie's channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. He's doing the movie Go from Doug Lyman.
Dude, I still gotta watch that sucker.
I love that movie.
I
throw it on while
Dylan.
I've seen it. But it's way out of print. I don't think
I've ever seen it.
I was shocked when Robbie said he paid $60 for his Blu-ray.
Dude.
Yeah, it slaps, dog. It's
out of print. So that's
it's crazy to see that he went to Born Identity after this movie. Like, you can almost see why they gave it to him because of his work in this movie, but it's just, that speaks volumes.
It's a very good film. Very good film.
Yeah.
And is it Sarah Polley? Isn't that?
Yep, Sarah Polley.
I think after that, a lot of people you don't even see anymore. A lot of these guys are just gone.
And they were great too. Sarah Polley, I always wondered why she never did more because everything I've seen her.
She did Dawn of the Dead. Then after that, never really saw too much from after Dawn of the Dead.
She almost carried that movie on her shoulders, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But it's a great movie.
Absolutely. All right, so he's got that coming up, and then Dylan, you got what coming up next Saturday? What are we doing?
This Saturday we're reviewing Your Next, directed by Adam Wingard. This Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Come check us out while we review and Pedro's recommendation.
Yeah, let me tell you, everybody, if you want to watch it before that, so you can get, so you can watch a show, it's on the cock. Because remember, good horror is always on the cock. So
never doubt the cock.
No, it's always on the cock, man. So watch that, get some cock and watch that.
If your favorite streaming service don't got the movie, the cock does.
The cock does.
Cock and chill.
I saw some stuff. I saw some stuff up there last night. I watched.
Oh, you were watching the cock last night.
Yes, I was. Last night I was doing the cock because I went out and saw that movie Violent Night, and so I wanted another a Christmas one. So I finally watched Fat Man with Mel Gibson.
Was that good?
That's on the cock.
Fat Man's on the cock.
Oh,
okay.
It was okay. It was not as good as Violent Night. Violent Night is how you do a Christmas themed thing. A lot of the stuff in Fat Man felt kind of flat. Although I did like Walter Goggins. A lot of it was just weird for weird's sake. It was
weird stretches,
but not as good as Violent Night. But Fat Man was on the cock last night, so I watched that. So I think tonight I may go up and even watch You're Next on the cock. So
nice.
That would almost,
you guys learned.
If that might almost make me a cocksucker. If I'm on the cock all
So
the time,
audience,
man,
you've learned. It's all on the cock.
One.
All right.
Jump on the cock and chill.
That's right.
Yeah, cock and chill.
I've always said that. All right, guys. So, watch all that stuff coming up, and we'll see you here next week for Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, I got cock in the mind now. I don't know what all right.
Somebody's like, what the shit are they talking about?
Jump over to Perry's channel. We got to go to Perry's channel. Jump over to Robbie's channel and watch Go. And we'll catch you here next week. Cheers.